So we're going to look today at what it takes to replace the fin on a Vespoli 4 or 8. We've got these plastic fins, fairly thick, and they're attached at 2 points. You can see a little bit of silicone in each of those points on this boat here, with two 1/4 inch brass bolts, and they snap off fairly easily. They're designed to do that so you do not hurt the hull if the fin were to get broken off on the dock or a rock or something like that, that it'll break free without damaging the hull. So not too uncommon for these to break off. They're pretty cheap and easy to replace when it does happen. We'll go ahead and take a look inside the boat here. Well, we've removed the stern cap or vent cap there. And most boats will have this little vent cap either directly over top of where the rudder sits, or sometimes on a 4 it might be just on the back side there, inside the right behind the stroke seat foot stretchers. So we'll look up inside here. So what we're looking at inside there are the 2 bolts that are holding the rudder on there, or the fin on there. The post just to the right is the rudder post. So that is where you get your steering from, through that post, through the hull, and that little glue there at the bottom is just to keep any water from getting inside the stern compartment of the boat. So the 2 nuts we're going to want to remove are those little wing nuts there. Typically, if your rudder has been broken off, what you're going to have is just 2 nuts that will spin rather freely, and you can just pull them straight out. So we'll go ahead and undo them here. So we've removed our 2 little wing nuts there that were over our studs. You can see one of those posts still has a little lock washer around it. So we've got our wing nut here and our little lock washer that keeps the wing nut from undoing unnecessarily or unwantedly when we're normally rowing. With those 2 wing nuts removed, typically at this point you could either just pound out the old studs that are still would remain in those holes if they hadn't already come out. Since our rudder's still intact, we'll go ahead and remove it just by lifting up here. And here we go. So this is what we pull out of the boat. You can see the brass studs there that snap off generally right at the base pretty easily. That's their design. And you can see this little bit of silicone that remains here. A little bit of greenish color, just a little corrosion from the brass. Now, sometimes you'll see varying amounts of silicone. You do need something here to seal around this post area to prevent water from getting in through that hole, because obviously it would just fill up the stern compartment during normal rowing conditions. So when you remove the old one, we'll go ahead and take a little scraper, scrape off this old silicone, and then put on some new silicone, and put on our Skeg, snug it back down, and we'll be all set. So as you get ready to go ahead and put your new Skeg back on, or fin, whatever you want to call it, you want to have a thin layer, maybe about a 1/4 inch round layer, right around there of silicone. You'd press that down into place, and if you pulled it back up, you'd see that basically right there, just that little bit of silicone, just enough to seal around those brass studs right there. Push down all the way. You can tell if it's all the way just by the clearance with your rudder and your fin here. Just a few millimeters clearance is all that you really need, and a nice flush finish with the hull there. Some people take a thin bead of silicone and run their finger all the way around. You can do that. It's not totally necessary. It really just makes a bigger mess in the end. Some people think it makes it go faster or seals water up better. You can do whichever you like. Just if you do that, make sure you have a nice clean hull and you wiped it down with some sort of cleaner, maybe acetone or something like that, to make a good adhesive surface. We'll go back inside here now. And we've got our studs poking through there. We'll go ahead and get our wing nuts on there. We'll just tighten them down by hand, as not as tight as we can go, but fairly snug. And we'll also put a little bit of corrosion block or some sort of corrosion inhibitor on those wing nuts, just so they don't corrode in place, since you do have a stainless steel wing nut and a brass rod there. 2 dissimilar metals will corrode pretty readily, especially in salt water, make it a lot tougher to take off next time you have to do this. So we've got both of our wing nuts back in place, snug down nice and tight. There's really nothing else left to do here. If you want to, you can go ahead and have your rowers take the boat out for practice, have them bring it back in, make sure that there is no extra water in the stern compartment, that you did do a good job siliconing that. You can use really any marine sealant, but I recommend silicone. Usually dries fairly quickly in about 45 minutes or an hour, so you can be ready to go for practice in time. And it cleans up pretty nicely too when it comes time to take it back off. We'll go ahead and look at another type of fin. This is fairly common in the Vespules 4s and 8s. We'll look at another kind of fin. There's really two main types, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So the other type of fin you're going to encounter is like a Hudson type fin, or not a lot of other boats have these, but a fin that's inside of a fin box. So it's not two studs going through the hull. It's actually a fin box, much more like a surfboard setup. And the fin itself is held in place with just a little bit of silicone, and also with this Allen key screw right there that keeps it from sliding back and forth. So how this fin looks is it would enter into the boat forward, then slide back into place, and then you would tighten down that little Allen key screw there. You'll find a lot of smaller boats have these types of fins, and a lot of course, Hudson's, Wintex, things like that, that have a fin box. Any questions, or if any of that doesn't make sense between the Vespules or the Hudsons, or you have a boat that you're just not quite sure of the fin on it, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, or shoot us a note on our website. I'm more than happy to help you. Good luck, and thanks for watching.